For this video, I'm going to work on Young Living brushes and foundation. So first of all, for the brushes, Young Living brushes are actually made by an Italian paintbrush maker. They're really high end, really high quality, and they're going to last you a very long time. I have a few of the Young Living brushes here. I'm going to go over the ones that I like to use. Obviously, they have names themselves, like for instance, the Young Living foundation brush, which I have right here, that is used for foundation. I actually prefer the kabuki brush for foundation. I like that the bristles are not quite so stiff, and I feel like I can buff it on to a larger surface area because there's more brush there. The foundation brush is great. If you want more control over where your foundation goes, go with the foundation brush. But I prefer the kabuki brush personally, and I am actually going to use the foundation brush for doing my blush. So first, you have to pick your foundation shade. Young Living has, let me think, 13 different foundation shades. So there's warm number 1, 2, and 3, cool number 1, 2, and 3, and dark 1, 2, 3, and 4. So first, take a picture of your foundation shade, or go to your manufacturer's website of the foundation shade that you have used in the past, and then look online at the Young Living foundations. You can just actually do a Google image search for Savvy Minerals Dark 1 or Savvy Minerals Foundation, and you can actually see that. Or there is an online Savvy Minerals catalog that you can look and compare the different foundation colors. That's a great jumping off place because Young Living's Savvy Minerals line is buildable coverage. What that means is I can apply just a little bit if I'm just trying to, like you can see here, I've got redness on my nose, I've got a blemish here. You're seeing me with no makeup. That's not the normal thing. I don't love not wearing makeup on camera. But so I have uneven skin tones. I have redness here and here. I get red on my chin and on my nose. So if you're just wanting to take away redness and you have really good healthy skin, then you might just need one layer of foundation. If you are somebody who has lots of breakouts or you're trying to target certain areas, you might need a couple more layers. The great part about Savvy Minerals is with that buildable coverage, it doesn't settle into fine lines and wrinkles. It doesn't look cakey. It breathes with your skin, so it doesn't feel like you've put saran wrap over your face. It's really, really nice. So what we're gonna do, I wear warm number 2. I have olive skin, which gets a little bit lighter during the winter, and then I'll actually switch to cool number 2. But I will tell you, I use warm number 2 and cool number 2 interchangeably. There are some tips on the Young Living website on how to pick your foundation color. Things like, do you prefer gold jewelry versus silver? Do you have blue veins versus green veins on your arm? There's different tips of how you can best guess what color you'll be. But at least what I have found is I can wear them interchangeably. Now, that doesn't mean I'm gonna go to dark number 4. Obviously you just kind of guess your skin hue, but it's more forgiving than you might think. Then what I will also do is I will use warm number 1 or cool number 1 around my eyes for an eye brightener because it's lighter than my overall skin shade. So real quick, I've got my Savvy Minerals. You can see this is my warm number 2. It's about half full. And I take my empty lid and I'm just gonna tap a little bit into the lid, okay? Like so. When I get it about like this, that's where I start. So what I like to do is I take my Savvy Minerals misting spray. They just came out with the sandalwood hydrosol. You can actually use that as a misting spray, but what we're gonna do, because this is loose powder, we don't want it to just fluff off everywhere, okay? So what we're doing is we're gonna take our brush and we're just gonna spritz. I do 1 spritz. It's typically all I need for at least my first layer of foundation. And then I'm just gonna tap, 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 tap on the inside of my lid like this. And I'll let you see, it gets a lot of that product onto that brush, okay? I start with my nose because my nose is my trouble spot. And you just kind of buff it on. And what I do is I keep layering until I'm happy with what I see looking back at me in the mirror. So if I have a moment like up here where things are a little My skin's a little not happy with me right now. I will be honest with you, I have not been eating very healthy lately, so that's why my skin is not so happy. I used to suffer from breakouts quite a bit, and that was because not only was I not eating healthy, but I was using really cheap drugstore makeup on my face, and I used to get such angry breakouts. It was terrible. Now, I'm gonna teach you a little trick here. I take my same Warm No. 2, and I just take it dry, and I put a little bit on my finger, and I can use that as a dry concealer right here over that blemish now that I've put a little foundation on. So you can see how much that covers with just a tiny little bit. So that was not much at all. And then I'm gonna finish with my foundation. So here's an after, and that's after about 2 to 3 applications of the foundation. You can see it's not caking on my skin, but my skin tone is just a lot more even.